these Chicago Bears, are
The
they
Bears.
the most overhyped or underhyped offseason team?
Overhyped.
Why do you say that, Casino?
Overhyped. They're overhyped. I like Caleb Williams. I think he's going to do okay. I'm not as big as they are on the media is. The rest of the media is about Caleb Williams. I think he's going to perform well. I think he's going to do okay. Is he going to change this entire franchise? I don't think so. He's got decent height. He's only 6'1". We'll see how this goes. But I'm worried. I'm just worried.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I mean, because here's the thing. Do you think last year you had Justin Fields and he was the only shining spot on that team for the most part, the majority, right? From game to game to game. Like he was the most consistent guy. Do you think with him leaving, Caleb Williams can fill that spot? I know they brought in a few players, but do you think that Caleb Williams can do what Justin Fields did better than Justin Fields did himself?
Yes, I think Justin Fields, I feel like he in the right situation. And also, speaking of Justin Fields, it was just announced today, or I believe it was yesterday, that Russell Wilson is the
getting
Steelers.
The start.
Yeah. So he'll be a backup. I'm assuming they'll use him in some Taysom Hill
They're
type of things.
They're gonna use him, and then they're gonna realize that Russell's a joke, and they're gonna send him off home to Sierra. Why does Sierra always come up in this fucking podcast? I don't know. I may like her. I don't know.
But see, it's unfair to do the Justin Fields, Caleb Williams comparison because the teams are completely different. Like this offense was completely built anew for specifically Caleb Williams. So in free agency and just in this offseason, they brought over DeAndre Swift, who was formerly of the Eagles. They have DJ Moore, who they got in that trade with the Panthers. They brought Keenan Allen, who was formerly of the Chargers. They drafted Rome Odunze. Again, great name. They have Cole Kmet. They brought over Gerald Everett from the Chargers, and then they rebuilt this entire offensive line from last year that was injury ridden, which is also why we saw so many highlight Justin Fields runs, because that O-line was absolutely god awful. So they rebuilt this entire offense in a way where it is never, this is the best the Bears offense on paper has maybe ever looked, because the Bears have never had a 4,000 yard passer. I don't think they've ever had a quarterback. I believe the stat was that threw for 30 touchdowns in a season. So I do worry again. I like Caleb Williams. This is not a I'm blanking on his name. Quarterback from Carolina. What's his name?
Bryce Young.
Thank you. This is not a Bryce Young situation where it's like they should have drafted CJ Stroud, and we were even kind of hearing that before that draft even happened because of the size of Bryce Young. This is one of those things where the clear consensus pick was Caleb Williams. Everybody's like, this is going to be the best quarterback the Bears have ever had. Some are saying he's already the best quarterback the Bears have ever had. And I say, do we forget Jay Cutler was on this Bears team?
Come on, Cutler. Let's go. Mr. Attitude.
He had the most similar personality to you and I of any player ever in the NFL. And that's why
I hate that. You and I hate that comparison. I hate that. Oh.
You hate it because it's true.
I'm out. Can we be done?
So
I'm gonna go do my workout. I'm gonna go home and cry. I am already home, but I'm gonna go in my room and cry.
But last year, Casino, the Bears finished 7-10, missed the playoffs. They're over and under. Again, we were talking about this when we made our picks. It was 9.5. So many people bet on that the number actually shifted to now their over under is 8.5. So regardless of that, both Casino and I said under. I would still think I say under. I feel like this is an 8-9 team because, again, a lot of it goes on the shoulders of how good Caleb Williams will be, not to start, just over the season. right? I feel
Right.
like if he has a good month this season, you don't know if defenses figure him out. You don't know if defensive coordinators find something in the film. Like, we haven't seen him play for more than a handful of snaps in the NFL so far.
See
So
if they figure out his mechanics.
yeah. So last year, the Bears were 12th in total
The Bears.
defense, 25th against the pass. I did not know this till I was doing the research. They were the number 1 rush defense last year, which interesting. But they were also 20th in total offense, 27th against the pass, second in the league in running. Now, obviously, that's more attributed to Justin Fields than it was their running back room, which they completely rebuilt anyways. But their O-line going into this year, according to PFF, 11th in the league. Their running back room, 19th in the league. They have the 4th wide receiver unit in the league, which I think is generous. The defensive line, 27th in the league, and the linebacker core, 3rd in the league. So again, with a lot of these teams like the Packers and the Vikings, for them to be, and the Lions are the complete opposite, but for the other 3 teams in the NFC North, the Bears, the Packers, and the Vikings, it's concerning how none of them have any sort of pass rush on the defensive line. Like, they have really no stars on the defensive line. And I feel like with the Bears, their thing has always been defense, right? So being number 1 in the rush defense is great, but to try to shore up that pass defense in the offseason, they also brought over Kevin Byard.
McAllister?
No, he was from Chicago, though. Those movies took place in Chicago. Nice callback, Casino.
Thank you. I was very excited about that.
But they brought over him and the safety Jonathan Owens from Green Bay. And then again, every other move was on offense. So this defense, I feel like they'll be better defensively as a unit, but will they still be the number 1 rush defense? I don't know, because they brought in, so Matt Eberflus is returning for his 3rd year. They brought in a new, that's also a great name, new offensive coordinator in Shane Walden, which is his first year as the Bears offensive coordinator. The past 3 years, he was the Seahawks offensive coordinator. And then the defensive coordinator is Eric Washington, who was previously with the Bills for the past 4 years as an assistant coach and a defensive line coach. So they saw they had no pass rush and then brought in a defensive line coach. So maybe the Bears defense will be better. But again, there's too many question marks on this team for me, especially because it's just a brand new team thrown together, basically all put on the shoulders of a rookie quarterback, where everybody's just acting like this is an 11-12 win team and they're just going straight to the playoffs. I don't see it.
Same here.
Yeah.
Who?
So we're both even though the number changed from 9.5 to 8.5, are you still picking the under for?
Yes, I am.
I think I am too. Again, if this Bears team goes 8-9, I feel like people are going to be disappointed just because the expectations were so high. But if you're 8-9 with a rookie quarterback and a completely new offense and defense, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, I don't know how that's not a win, especially if Caleb Williams is good, right? Like, he just needs to put up good stats and then not necessarily win games in your rookie year. As long as you look competent, people are going to hype you up going into your second year. Because if you don't look good and then you also don't win, everybody's going to be talking about you like you're Bryce Young, which we have done on this podcast.